All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our daily huddle. Jesse Macpherson coming at you from somewhere else. I don't know. We got a little turned around last night, and we're up way too late trying to find a place to camp. But we are pulled over in a park. We are very close to Aspen, for those of you guys that have been up here. So going to go spend the day in Aspen today, which is very exciting. Yesterday, we got a chance to go to Steamboat Springs and the Strawberry Hot Springs. If you guys have ever been to those, they are just magnificent. It was really unique because they were only letting in 50 people at a time, and there was a reserved wait list. But I love turning no's into yeses. That's just kind of like what I do. So we ended up pulling up, and I read a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I've used every tactic inside that book to get things done during coronavirus. And we said, look, we're just here, and we ended up getting in. And it was great because there's only like 40 people in the whole place. So it was really cool. We'll post some pictures a little bit later. But welcome, guys, as people are coming in here. So these daily huddles are Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 11:30 on the East Coast. And right now we are in the middle of our Discover Secret Summer promotion. So remember, $29 US, $34 in Canada for someone to get in and just kind of test drive our program. And for their first $100 order, they're going to get the shampoo, they're going to get the conditioner, and they're going to get the brush on us as a free gift for that new agent. Also, those of you going out there and bringing in 3, 5, 10, 15 agents, you're going to get those bonuses and trackers in your back office. What is the most exciting thing that happened yesterday is the announcement of our new agent destination trip to Hawaii. How many guys are excited? Woo, 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 woo. All right, drop a comment, say something. I don't know how these things work, but do we do hearts? Are there still hearts anymore? Was that Periscope? Am I old school? So you guys remember. Today, I want to continue our conversation from yesterday as kind of part 2 of this goal setting process. I do want to take one of our huddles. It'll either be on Thursday and or Friday to really go through the details of this agent destination promotion to make sure you understand it. Many of you are new, so you haven't seen our point structure yet and how that all works. You're like, there's 7 million ways to do this, and it seems confusing. Trust me, we'll break it down and make it very simple. We just want to have clear paths for anybody that's going, look, I'm really good at customers. I'm a ninja at networking, whatever it is. We wanted to make sure that people had a path to qualify for this trip. And by far, I don't want to say the easiest, because I think that's giving false expectations. But I believe the best chances of earning this trip, because you're starting now. Many of you are brand new. You're just getting into the program. You have all of your warm, your lukewarm, and everything that you're creating here with social networking professionals and with Elite to be able to use to get yourself to Hawaii. And we'll be twinkling our sand in the toes there, and it'll be really, really, really nice. So let's get into today's conversation, though, as we're going to go through that here tomorrow. Yesterday, we really started this week, really, we started with the goal setting process, and the very beginning of that being creating your master dream list. So if you weren't here on Monday, I definitely recommend and watch some of these huddles that we've been doing in the mornings, because they've been kind of progressive this week. And that master dream list of creating 100 dreams, anything, no governors, no judgment, no, wow, it's not realistic, none of that stuff. And then really boiling that down into what are my top 2 one-year goals that I want to focus on over the course of the next 12 months, or by the end of this year, as we have the second half of 2020 coming. Can you believe that the first half of this year is almost gone? Like, doesn't it seem like, I mean, it doesn't even make any sense to me. I was like Halloween just seemed like it was just yesterday, and like, buy your costume for this year now, because it's coming fast. But as things have kind of progressed here, with your goal setting process, yesterday we talked about setting that goal, and we talked about the beginning step of the setting the goal of SMART goals. We posted a photo, and there's a document that we'll post inside of this that goes over this process, and I'm going to pull it up here for us and do a quick screen share so you guys can see this. All right, if you didn't print this out yet, I'd highly recommend it. Okay, so I think you guys should be able to see this. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Can give me some nods if you guys are good and you can see this pretty clearly. Okay, perfect. So this goal planning sheet is something that was developed by Paul J. Meyer, who was a billionaire out of Salado, Texas, that I got a chance to go to some of his leadership retreats. He founded Leadership Management Institute. The running tally that I remember is he gave away over $400 million while he was alive. He's the one who coined the slogan, "Attitude is everything." That's actually his saying. A lot of the greats from back in the day, even before Jim Rohn, were the ones that would say Paul J. Meyer was instrumental. Paul J. Meyer, though, wasn't an orator. He wasn't a speaker. He wasn't doing big events. He was a business builder. And he built business after business after business. And I remember walking into his office and seeing kind of his Hall of Fame. And his Hall of Fame was over 100 CEOs of companies that he owned, which was incredible. And he talked about this, and this is what he used when he set his goals and set his plans. So we're going to go through this here real quick. And we started yesterday with the first 2 sections of this, but there's a lot more to this 3-step process of not just being a goal setter, but being a goal achiever. Now, I want you guys to give yourself a little bit of patience in this, because many people have been struggling and been really frustrated with the goal setting process, because we know what it's like to set goals and not hit them, and set goals and not hit them, and set goals and not hit them, and set goals and not hit them. So what happens is instinctively our brain goes, instead of being disappointed, I'm just not going to set them anymore. Or I'm going to set goals that are so easy, I want to call it, that you know you're going to hit it, which means there's no stretch, there's no growth. And life, your passion is going to be found on the edge of your comfort zone. It's going to be stretching it. And that's where things are going to get alive and get bigger and get better, because happiness is found in progress. And the progress is not going to be the achievement necessarily of the goal, but the process of doing this. So now we're starting yesterday where we talked about a goal, and Angela did a great job talking about going to diamond, of setting a specific, measurable, obtainable, realistic, and a time element attached to it. When you're writing out your goal, I believe it's important to write it in the present tense as if it is already achieved, because your brain has a hard time distinguishing between past, future. I guess that's future and present in the same word together. Past. I'm gonna drink some coffee now. Even get my brain to kick on. So past, your present, and or your future. So a good example is if the goal, like we talked about yesterday with Angela, is I am a diamond agent. The goal is to be a diamond agent by December 31st, 2020. Then you're going to write that in there as I am a diamond agent December, not I'm going to be, right? Going to be is a future conversation. We want to write it as if it is already done, number one. The second thing that I want you guys to be looking at is I recommend adding in a positive gratitude piece into the achievement of the goal. So not just I am a diamond agent, I am so grateful, I'm so happy, I'm so proud to be a diamond agent with Seacret on December 31st, 2020. So add an element of gratitude, and make sure you add a present tense to setting your goal. Step number one. Step number two, we talked about this, the benefits for achieving the goal and or losses to be avoided from achieving the goal. We didn't talk about that yesterday. What we talked about was benefits to achieving the goal. This is the juice. This is the thing that you want to write down. Anything and everything you can think of, whether it's the bonuses you're going to get, the recognition you're going to get, small things and big things, right? Now, what are losses to be avoided from achieving this goal? Well, sometimes I know some people, they get so ingrained inside of a goal that they kind of lose sight of other things that are really important to them, right? And so you want to make sure that there's something you don't want to, not miss your Sunday, your religious day, if that's a time that you're taking off. So I'm not going to miss out on that. I'm not going to lose out on that, right? I'm not going to lose myself into this goal completely to where other things in my life that are super important, it's taking priority over, right? So that's another thing. Now, below that, we're going to write down possible obstacles and possible solutions. This is really where, before you go into going after the goal, you want to start thinking through this. And this is the thing that you're going to start developing as you develop your goals: possible obstacles, possible solutions. By the way, the first two in your possible obstacles are always me, number one, and the second one is time. Those are two possible obstacles that are always going to be in every single goal that you set. So you're saying, me, I'm an obstacle? Yeah, you are. How many of you guys know you are your biggest obstacle in the goal setting process? And some of you guys know where your pitfalls already lie. You know where you need support. You know where you need help in the goal setting process because you know where you've messed this up before, right? And so what is that? So me and time. This is where a personal management system, or sometimes a time management system, or having something that you're scheduling. So for me, I can tell you one of the most powerful pieces of overcoming the obstacle of myself is the power of accountability and having a workout partner. So a possible solution. Now, we're not looking for absolutes here, but what we want to think through is what are some of the possible obstacles towards achieving this? Now, I'm going to take two kind of different goals and give you some examples. Let's take a secret goal like going diamond. Let's also take a personal goal like getting into shape in health, because those are kind of a personal, and I think they're both pretty relatable and most people can kind of get it. So if it's a health related area, so a possible obstacle would be time, meaning not scheduling in my workouts. That could be a possible obstacle. I need to have a solution for that, right? So, or possible obstacles, vacations and not working out on vacation is a possible obstacle. If I've got 90 days of I'm planning on 90 days getting to a specific weight or body fat or whatever it is, and I know I've got vacations in there, this is a possible obstacle. What can be a solution for it? What we want to think about is what is every turn, pitfall on the path, because we all know when most people set a goal, instinctively the idea is to just be excited about the end result of the goal and not think about all the challenges that are going to come about in setting the goal. So I want you to do your best to think of every possible problem, wall, possible obstacle. How about burnout? How do I set myself up for not getting burnt out? If it was going diamond, so Angela, a good example, possible obstacle for it is I need to have a gold on my left. I need to have a gold on my right. So possible obstacle, finding two solid leaders. And what's the time frame I need to find that in? What's an obstacle for it is getting distracted by this or that. I want you to think of anything. What else are obstacles, right? If you're looking to drop weight, my husband or my spouse buying junk food and bringing it home is an obstacle, right? So anything you can think of that are obstacles on the way towards hitting your goal, I want you to write them down. And then the goal is to come up with possible solutions. This is going to not just fuel your goal, but it also is going to create a lot more clarity and not just kind of skipping down the road thinking that there's not going to be sharp turns or potholes or areas where you're going to need to take some rest. This is really thinking through a goal in a very different way than I was used to, which in the very beginning goal setting was, I want this, I write it down, which is a good place to start. But we want to start getting really good at this process and teaching people how to do it. So from here, okay, once we write down, and yesterday we talked about setting it specific and the benefits. You got to get as many down as you possibly can on this, right? And then I want you to get your couple that are just your juice, your drivers for that. Now, from that, it's going to go into page number 2. So let's take a look at page number 2 here, which is the back. Okay. And this, oh, that's not page number 2. No, it is page number 2. Yeah, it is. Okay, here we go. All righty. I am making this bigger. Ta-da. And ta-da. Okay. Can you guys see that clearly? Yes? Okay, perfect. So from the other side, we're going to take a look at what are some of the specific action steps for achieving this goal, okay? What are the specific action steps for achieving this goal? So if it's basically diamond, right? So what are the action steps for achieving this goal? Well, it is the amount of contacts I'm doing per day. Maybe that's a set goal. As we talked about these KPIs or key performance indicators last week, when we talked about accountability, we talked about workout partners. For it, and this is steps for achieving this goal is qualifying for the agent destination. And that may be a separate goal planning sheet, right? So you could have a goal planning sheet for agent destination. You could have a goal planning sheet for going diamond. You could have a goal planning sheet for anything in your life, small and or big. What I want you to do is this. It's not about filling this out. It's about becoming a master goal set and achiever. And part of that is going, what are the action steps? What is your MAP, your MAP, your massive action plan that's going to be required for achieving any goal, and that kind of map and we're thinking about all the things along the journey that are going to get us there. So if it's weight, okay, maybe it is specific action steps. For me, for achieving this goal is logging my food. I know it's one of the big things for most people is I need to log everything I'm eating, okay? So maybe you have your MyFitnessPal and you're tracking that. Now, maybe that's not a target date. Maybe the target date on your on that is during this until completed. So if it's a 90-day program, let's say in 90 days, I'm trying to lose 20 pounds, right? Or whatever it is, okay? Then I might have a target date of losing 10 pounds in my first 45. I might have a target date of losing 5 across the way. I might have action steps of working out 3 days a week. Now, if I put an action step here and I think about an obstacle in the way of that action step, I need to flip the page back over and go back to possible obstacles, possible solutions. So I need to look at this and go, my actions are congruent with getting me towards the goal. Okay? Now, in going diamond, I need to have a goal to my left, a goal to my right. I should have a target date for these things. Now, I want you guys to understand your specific action steps, and for achieving this goal, this is an area which is going to take some practice, because for some of you have never done this process of the goal setting before. So what it's going to do, hang on a second, let me open a window here, get a little cross breeze. I'm eating myself up in this place. So you guys want to see? I think you guys can see. Check it out. There's the mountains. I don't know. Can you see Aspen? It's up there. It's up there. There's a little snow. I don't know why I would show you that. So I get distracted. Squirrel. That's why we call the dog Squirrel. There he is. Hey, Squirrel. So this is an area where, like I said, you are going to continue to get better and better and better and better at this. All right. Because it's not going to be instinctive to think about every action step and what those are. This is where you're going to come into the most questions. We're going to go, what do I really need? How many presentations do I need to do? How many people do I really need to recruit? And what's going to happen is those questions are going, oh man, that's not good. I got a guy coming over here. We're parked in front of a park and this guy just put his weed blower on. Yeah, we should be okay. So, but what's going to happen is you're going to start asking questions that are the most important part of this, because this is where you're going to start getting clarity. Because if you set a goal to go diamond and then you're out here going like, well, how many people do I really need to recruit? That means that there's not enough clarity behind the goal. And that's where we're starting to dig in. And this is where you're going to probably use some of your support team when it comes to a goal like that. Now with weight, you might not have the same type of questions, but most people, when they set a goal, they don't have clarity on the actions really required to hitting that goal. And we wonder why so many people set something and are disappointed with their achievement, because they don't know that what is required to achieving the goal they set in the first place. So this is where you're going to start learning at this. And I don't expect you to be perfect at this and getting started. We're looking not for perfection. We're looking for progress. We're looking to get a little bit better each day. Now let's scroll down here. Okay. Now down here, this is some of the most important parts of the goal setting process. I'm going to zoom in it. Okay. Who needs to know about this goal? Okay. Now I used to write down everybody, but I actually don't think that's accurate. I don't think everybody probably needs to know about your goal. Now, maybe if your goal is to stop smoking, maybe that's an everybody goal, okay? But when it comes to achievement, when it comes to success, I don't think you should be sharing your intimate goals and your intimate dreams with everybody, unless sharing with everybody and getting a lot of negativity is motivating for you. Because a lot of people out there, I believe the most important people for you to share your goal with, especially your business goal, are people who are going to cheer you on, support you, help guide you, motivate you, and to keep you on track with your goal. A lot of people, when their circle of influence, when you decide to elevate and raise your standards, what it usually does is it makes some people uncomfortable, because it makes them look at their life and go, shoot, I'm not really growing to the levels that I should probably be growing to, right? So what I highly recommend in terms of who needs to go about this goal, if it's a secret goal, your upline needs to know for sure. So your sponsor, your upline, Trish, Ruth, Truth, me, anybody inside of that. Your workout partner has to know, of course, what your goal is, and they should have a printout of this that they're working off of as well with you, because you need to be because it's that power of the mastermind group when you guys get together. Sorry, let me close this. See if that's going to help at all, because you want to see you see the benefits of doing Zooms. There's my guy right there. So my weed whacker. All right, so couldn't have waited. You don't know how important this is, bro. But outside of the tracking progress, outside of who needs to know about this goal and your upline, I believe that your family, your spouse, your kids, they should know about your goals. They should know about these things, right? And because they're going to be involved in your world, they're going to be involved in your life. They're going to be involved in some of the sacrifices that are required, which we're going to talk about in a quick minute here. So methods for tracking this. What are your methods for tracking your progress? So what is your planner? What is your methods? Maybe you have, if it's weight, you have your PAL thing where you're tracking this, you're tracking your weight. If it's in your business, you have to find a way to start monitoring and tracking your activities, okay? Monitoring and tracking your activities, very, 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 very important. So you need to inspect what you expect. So you're not kind of flying aimlessly, through the clouds. Keith Cunningham, which was pretty much Robert Kiyosaki's rich dad from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you've ever been to any of his business courses, he has incredible business courses. And he says the number one reason why small business owners go out of business is they don't know their numbers. It would be like flying in a plane and not understanding the dials. It's so easy to crash. Now, you might love flying, but if you don't know the dials, you don't know your numbers, it's very easy for most entrepreneurs to be what they call artists, business operators instead of business owners. And business operators get tired, business owners get rich. And what that means is knowing your numbers and tracking your numbers, right? And the number of activities that you're doing. Now, the next part of this, does this goal support my values? Yes or no? It's just a quick check. Hopefully we haven't gotten this far into the goal, right? And you're going, well, does it really support my values? The next, and this is a good one, and it needs to be asked, is it worth my time, effort, and money required to reach it? Now, this may be yes, this may be no, or this may be yes, but later. And this is an important process because sometimes when you're looking at a goal, I know there are things that you really want, but when you go through this process correctly and you look at everything that really is required for achieving the goal, you might go, you know what? This goal is worth it, but not right now. I need to I have some other goals I need to complete first so I can really focus on this particular goal. That's one thing. The second thing is you may go through all the action steps. You may look at all the possibilities. You may look at everything and you may say to yourself, you know what? There's another goal I need to complete before I start this goal. You may look at it and go, you know what? I should probably adjust my time frame. Meaning it is the right goal. I just don't have the right time frame. Meaning I set a goal that I want to accomplish something in 90 days, but I really should have that goal accomplished in 12 months. Because now when I'm really looking at what's required, that seems like it's more realistic for me. Now, it should be stretching you, should make you a little nervous. And then underneath that, you're writing right here, okay? So affirmations for supporting this goal. Positive statements to raise your confidence. So affirmations and, or Tony Robbins calls them incantations. Affirmation is basically without using your physiology. And an affirmation, you could say, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. And you're affirming that you're happy, but your body, you need to communicate it to your face, right? So versus an incantation would be something where you're using your entire physiology. And I'll never forget the first like major goal I had in my business career at network marketing is I wanted to be a six-figure income earner. I wanted to make that $100,000 a year and in my business, and I wanted to be one of the youngest people to do it. And I was obsessed with this thing. And we had a business presentation every Tuesday night, and it was in Glendale in Los Angeles, and I lived in West LA. And if you've ever driven on the 405 freeway, our meeting was at 7. So you had to be there at like 6:30. So if you ever driven in Los Angeles from West LA up to Glendale over the hill on the 405, they call it the 405 freeway because you go 4 or 5 miles per hour pretty much every time you're on it. And it would take about an hour and a half to 2 hours, usually one way to get to Glendale. Take only about 30 minutes to get home, but at night after the meeting. But I remember on the way there, if I didn't have a guest, I was listening to audios, I was making follow-up phone calls. On the way home, 30 minutes, I would have these incantations. And I stole stuff from online, stole stuff from Tony Robbins, stole stuff from everywhere. And I would say, I now command the power of my mind to use the immense powers of the universe to easily and effortlessly catapult me to 6 figures right now. And I haven't said that in so long, but it is in my brain like a song I can't get out of my head, right? And I would say it over and over and over. I now command my subconscious mind to use the immense powers of the universe to easily and effortlessly catapult me to 6 figures right now. I now command my subconscious mind. And then I would say it slow, and I'd whisper it. And then I would enunciate different words louder, right? And then I would, people, if they were driving by, they probably thought I was rocking out to some music. Or if they could see me, they'd probably like, this guy's a psycho. But then again, we're in LA. There's a lot of us. But what are your affirmations? Write them out there. Put them on your mirror, right? So these are things that you're going to be stating and saying. It's easy. It's so easy to set a goal and really forget about it or get off track with it. And that's what they call a New Year's resolution. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? You set a New Year's resolution and then you just kind of don't really think about it, or it's just kind of in the back of your head, back of your brain, and it leaves your consciousness. I want your brain to be so invested in your goal that it starts putting everything in front of you, everyone in front of you that's required for you to achieve it. And I can tell you that when you kind of get into that vibration, it's out there. You guys know, right? Have you ever all of a sudden really wanted a new car? You're like, oh my God, I really want a Range Rover, right? That's really what I want. And then you start seeing the Range Rover everywhere. Was the Range Rovers just all of a sudden hit the street? No, they were always there, but your brain wasn't tuned into it. It's like radio stations, right? So we have Kiss FM in Southern California I listen to as a radio station. And right now, there's radio stations that are playing music right now, but I'm not tuned in on the radio, so I can't hear it. I want you to be tuned in. I want the universe to be tuned into your goals. I want it to be conspiring for you, to find you, to put you in the right places, the right conversations. Now, let me finish up with this. And lastly is visualizations. Okay, visualizations, super important towards your goal. All right. So what do you want? Why do you want it? But where are you going to put it? We're going to drive shortly. So, what you want to do is put it everywhere. What is the screensaver on your phone? Screensaver on my phone, you can see right here, bam, Crown Royale. That's right. Screensaver on the back there, you can see Trish putting her phone up, her 6-figure ring, right, with the diamonds on it. So that's just small things today. What's the screensaver? If I walk into a leader's house, it's very easy for me to see if they're going to the next level or not, because visually it's everywhere. And so if I walk into a leader's house and there's not one goal somewhere where I know they're seeing it on a regular basis, they're not going to the next rank. I've never seen it. I never see somebody just happenstance. Whoa, I have no idea how I got to diamond. Look at this. This is cool, right? So it's going to be intentional. It's got to be focused. So I remember I cut out a picture of the 6-figure ring from my first company, and I put it everywhere. I put it where my speedometer was in my car. I could still see my speedometer. Don't freak out. But I put it on my car, so every time I looked down, I could see it. My visor, I put it there, right? I taped it to the ceiling. So when I woke up in the morning, I looked up and I would see it, right? It was in the shower. So I'm showering, I'm sitting there, and I'm doing my incantations in the shower. I now command my subconscious mind to use the immense powers of the universe to easily and effortlessly catapult me to a 6-figure ring right now, right? And then I would get out. And then the toilet, it was right above the toilet. And then I lifted up the seat and it was right there too. I threw those away, don't worry. But visualizations, where does the visualizations? Here's a great place for visualization, your refrigerator. So put it on your refrigerator, a place you go every day. I absolutely recommend you can take a dry erase marker, okay? And write on your bathroom mirror. So I am this. It's someplace you're going to go every day. Now, what's going to happen is your brain will see it for a little bit, and then in about 2 to 3 weeks, it will ignore it. It'll just be kind of part of the mirror. You'll forget it. And you need to change the color or rewrite it or write it on a different place. So if you have your things, you're like, I've done this. In fact, it's already up. If it's been up for over a month, you need to move it or you need to change it. because you've forgotten about it, right? So these are the things in the goal setting process that I want to go through here with you guys. So let's just recap here. And we can go through this goal planning worksheet, and we can actually do it together for everybody that's looking to qualify for agent destination, because some of you are going, Diamond, I don't even know if that's possible. I don't know if I can get there. I've never done anything like that in my career inside of this profession, or I'm brand new. I don't even know what that means. Right? So what we want to do is every one of you, without a shadow of a doubt, if you're willing to put in the work, you're willing to follow the system that Ruth and Trish put in here, you're willing to plug in, and you're willing to be coachable and do the work, every single one of you can qualify for agent destination with us and be with us in Hawaii for sure. So we can go through the goal planning worksheet specifically for everybody here, because a lot of the obstacles, a lot of the solutions are going to be similar. A lot of the action steps are going to be similar for many of us. So we'll take some time to do that. But going through this goal planning worksheet, you're setting a SMART goal. You're going to have some gratitude in there. You're going to set it in the present tense. You're going to write down all the juice, all the reasons for achieving it, from the bonuses to, you know, the haters you're going to be proven wrong, to the things that are going to happen because of it, the lives that are going to be impacted because of it, the debt that's going to be reduced, the new toy that you get to buy, the vacation that you get to go on, right? The people that you know that you're going to help, the thousands of customers that are going to be in your business, the new residual income, the freedom that you're going to have to be able to travel in a van and do weird things if you want to. I don't know what you want to do with it, but you got to have the reason behind it, the why beneath the why. Possible obstacle solutions. We got an action plan of things, and we're going to be thinking through that. Don't get too hung up on that if you get a little bit lost, right? I just want you to start the process. Don't worry about being perfect, just progress. We're going to find out, does it meet my values? Is it worth it? The time, money, energy, effort, the sacrifice? Because if you want to go up, you need to give up. There's always. And if you have things in your life that you didn't sacrifice, it's very simple. Someone else sacrificed for you, because there is nothing in life for free, and life isn't fair, and that's how it is. So now from below that, what are my affirmations and what are my visualizations? How many of you guys agree from the last 3 days, from our dream list, from our goal setting, from this, if you really did this with your goals, how many of you guys just feel a little bit more confident that getting to your goals or achieving your next goals is much more obtainable or possible if you were to do these steps with your goals? Show of hands, type a chat, raise a hand, do something, right? So, okay. And this is really where this group, I'm so excited about what Trish and what Ruth and not just what they're providing for our businesses. So many places in our profession give you kind of what I call that surface level, where they give you the what or the why, but not really some of the how-tos. And that's what we're committed to doing, is not just giving you guys the motivation, not just giving you guys the excitement, but really giving you here's the action steps. Now, here's the thing. The only way that you're going to get good at these things is to do them. And in the growth process requires failure. So I want you to understand, it's not failing, it's feedback, unless you quit on the process. So take everything on your journey here, and we're going to be here to support you. I don't care if you fall flat on your face, just fall forward. Because if you fall forward and you get up, you're going to be a little bit closer in the direction that you need to go, which is a great book called Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell. Some of us, we need to completely reverse our psychology and our mindset around failure, because it's what's holding you back. It's that big fear factor. And what I want you guys to get is, this is a safe place. It's a safe place to dream. It's a safe place to fail. And that's one of the things I love about the community and the environment we have here is, yes, we are here for achievement. We are here for next level growth. We are here to get you to your goals and your dreams, which means there are things that are going to be uncomfortable. There's things you're not going to want to do. We're not just going to sit here. This is not just this is a business. We're here to make money, right? So this is not a nonprofit. I do things for nonprofit. This is not one of them. Right? This is a for-profit business. So it does require growth from you, but it doesn't require us to forget that the process of growing is challenging. And I want to honor you for your courage. I want to honor you for your commitment for growth, because do you know how many people are not doing this right now? Like, they're not on a huddle on a morning, every morning, learning about and improving the quality of their life. You know what they're doing right now? They're complaining. They're complaining about the government. They're complaining about, they're complaining and they're complaining and then they're complaining and then they're complaining. And then you call them and say, hey, I got an opportunity for you. And then they're going to complain that you offered them an opportunity. And they're going to complain and complain and complain and complain. And they're going to take no responsibility for what's going on in their world and what's going on in their lives. And so for those of you here, you have no idea how excited I get waking up every day and doing my best to contribute. So I know we have in our social networking professionals group, this is specifically for people that are in Seacret. I'm going to be doing some of this stuff for the social networking professional side. So those of you guys that have people that you want to add, tag, and message to get, hey, listen, if you want to really step up your goal setting instead of just goal setting, goal achieving, I heard a training that I think would be really valuable for you. And so we can help everybody from just provide value to outside of the world of Seacret so they can show them that, look, we got a home for them. And anyway, I think that's it for today. Ruth, Trish, anything you want to add before we close out? I took a little bit longer than today. I apologize, but I think this is a really important topic.
It's all good, Jesse. Thank you so much. And yeah, I have total belief that each and every one of you can get to that agent destination. Let's make that a goal, and we'll put the actions together so there's clarity.
Yes, and thank you, Jesse. And I agree, Ruth. Every single person in here can earn this trip. And Jesse, I gotta tell you, I love the qualifications this year. Love the qualifications. Some of the best we've ever had.
For sure. I was going, okay, that's awesome. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be good.
Everybody can earn it. Everybody can earn it.
Everybody can earn it. So we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for your huddle. Let's make it a spectacular Wednesday. And we'll send you some photos from Aspen here today. Bye.